Oh, my face feels like it was punched on the inside. Oh, no! Oh. Oh.
Oh, we are actually. This is Hope What You Think. Apparently, we do a lot of horseradish shots before this. So we just did a Smuggler's Lounge Royal Bohemian horseradish shot. I guess what do you think of that, Jason? You're here with me, right?
Honestly, it wasn't too bad.
I know you tanked. What the fuck? Josh, what do you got to say?
I feel like the inside of my face got punched from my spine.
Isaac, what do you got to say about that?
I hate it.
14 and 15. Hey,
ooh.
Okay, we got everybody here. That was terrible. We are drinking some Grillo's Pabst Blue Ribbon Pickle beer. We have some Pecatonica beer at 12. We have some Gunpowder Gin. Isaac had some Tito's earlier, and we also drank some hams, and we got some Miller High Life over there. But you know what I heard? Isaac, you got a story, don't you?
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
Okay. I'm going to talk about the Congress Plaza Hotel in Chicago.
The Central Plaza?
No, Congress Plaza.
Oh.
You guys ever been there?
I've never have been.
Have you been to the famous park in...
I don't like Chicago.
Hey, have you been to the Bean?
Yes.
I don't think I ever have been.
It's right across from the Bean. It's really a pretty hotel. Very pretty.
I went there with Canadians, actually.
You went there with Isaac?
No.
Oh.
What?
So it's right by the Art Institute and everything.
Yeah, by the Bean. You like beans, Jason?
Who doesn't like beans?
Unpopular take. I fucking hate the Bean. It's not that cool of a statue.
Doesn't matter. We're talking about the Congress Hotel. Tell him, Ty.
We're talking about the Congress Hotel.
Thank you for telling him that.
All
All right. So this hotel, the Congress Plaza Hotel, opened in 1893 for the World's Fair. And it's hosted presidents, celebrities, even Al Capone. It's hosted a whole wide variety of characters. You understand? It's on Michigan Ave, and since its opening, basically been well renowned for its paranormal activities that they have going on.
Is it like one of those big, you walk into it and there's two spiral staircases going upstairs?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
It's a grand
hotel.
Yeah. And for over 100 years, it's had suicide, murders, and weird deaths that just don't make any sense.
Okay, murder-suicide hotel. That's par for the course.
Yep. So 8 U.S. presidents and other heads of state have stayed there.
That's a lot.
Pretty good.
Did any of them
for the
see,
Midwest?
the
That's a lot.
There's been a lot of suicides, like I said, and
wait, suicides jumping out of the hotel or killing themselves in the room?
Both. So the 4th and 12th floors are the most famous for deaths.
Okay,
basically.
Do they jump out of them or do they kill themselves in them?
In them.
Okay.
In them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me more about this hotel.
He said, tell me more about this hotel.
I was scared. He just started yelling again. So in 1900, Captain Louis Osheim.
Captain Luigi
was staying in the hotel the night before his wedding. He had served in the 1st United States Artillery during the Spanish-American War. As a veteran, he suffered post-traumatic stress disorder.
People were shooting
so he had
cannons
night terrors, all that jarb. So the night he was just happened to stay there, he awoke and he had a brutal episode of PTSD, basically.
People were shooting cannons.
He shot himself. And ever since then, his spirit is still in that room. Captain Lou! They call him.
So who cleaned that up? Who cleaned that up? The poor maid the next day?
No, they didn't. There's next guest.
So they never cleaned it up.
Next guest.
All right. Hey, there's brains on this bed.
Watch
Not
out
my
for the puddle.
problem.
It'll dry eventually.
Yep. And then in 1939, a 43-year-old Jewish woman named Adele Langer came to the hotel.
Langer? I hardly
with
know
2 of
her.
her sons, 6-year-old Carol and 4-year-old Jan.
Carol and Jan were both men?
They'd come to America fleeing Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia. They were scared of the Jews. They were Jews.
Nazis.
Yeah.
The Nazis?
That's Czechs Nazis.
Anyway, they stayed there for a few days, and then they kept getting stuck there. They were like, what do we do now? They couldn't find any work.
So they fled a very poor country and came over and stayed in a fucking ritzy-ass hotel.
In Chicago.
Right?
Yep.
Chicago.
So basically, the mom was worried her husband never came and met up with them. She was getting more stressed about finances and stuff. So one day she went basically insane, and she took the boys to the zoo. And then as soon as they got back to the hotel, she opened the window and threw them both out.
Hey, remember them ostriches we saw?
Yep.
You know how that can't fly? You can't eat a baby. We'll push you out the window.
Wait, did she also jump out of the hotel?
Correct.
Okay, at least that's good.
So yeah.
At least she killed
That
herself
happened.
too.
Yep.
That just sounds like a terrible situation overall.
That's just.
Everybody loses.
So is that a city problem if they die on the sidewalk, or is that your responsibility, like snow clearing?
Yeah, I would think that's on the police.
You think so?
Yeah.
There you
So
go, police.
another story, in 1904, an elevator operator fell 70 feet to the bottom of the elevator shaft, dying immediately.
Good.
4 years later, a near-broke spendthrift, which I was asking you earlier what that meant.
Isn't that that's a horse broker, right?
His name is Roy Gormley.
Gormley.
He shot himself in the room.
Oh, like with a horse pistol, like Lewis and Clark?
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
a spendthrift is somebody who just, like,
Or,
spends
sorry,
money,
just Lewis,
like, in a very
right?
wasteful,
He's the one who
reckless,
shot himself
or
with the
ma-
horse
like,
pistol?
Basically, like,
Allegedly.
going well above their means. So, like, they're just spending, like, a shitload of money more than what they can sustain.
Yeah, basically he was losing his ass.
Yeah.
So then in 1910, a man named James Kennedy checked in, went in his room, cut all the identification tags out of his clothes, burned all of his papers, and shot himself.
Wait. So his mommy wrote his initials on his underwear and stuff, or what?
That's what it sounds like.
That used to be a
Or
thing.
he was in the military.
It used to be a
Oh,
thing.
he was in the military, I guess. Okay.
I mean, it used to be a thing that your name, if you got like a tailored suit, your name was embroidered in the suit.
6 years later, a mining investor named Morris Davis and his wife formed a suicide pact in room 312.
That sounds
What?
fun.
They both ingested 2 cyanide capsules.
How did people used to just be able to buy that?
The
back in
woman
day?
survived, actually.
That's somehow worse.
Yep.
Not a very good suicide pact if I ever heard of one.
Because, like, yeah.
Dude, and 6 years after that, a
Well, 'cause
woman
didn't they used to just-
fell down the elevator shaft and died.
Oh,
Yeah.
How do you just fall down you just open the door?
hey, look, the door. Okay, if you're not paying attention and the door opens and you take a step and then the elevator's not there.
I've always
The
looked at
guy that coined the phrase safety first died of a heart attack in his room in 1928.
No
there.
fucking way.
In the Congress Hotel.
Safety first.
20 years after that. That's just the crazy thing, because it's like 6 years, 20 years, 10 years, and we're still way back when. 20 years later, a longtime resident, he had a wooden right leg, was having breakfast when he suffered a random heart attack.
I mean, that's
I don't know what the wooden leg
how
had
many
to do with
eggs
that.
did he eat?
In 1950, a man named John Raymond shot the hotel's credit manager who approached him about his debt of $104.
I'd do
Raymond
that
then
too.
shot himself afterwards.
Oh, he murder-suicide the hotel concierge?
$100 back then is
Roughly 16 years after that,
That's
so it would have been
like $300
1966,
today.
an attorney named Frederick Kay was found dead in his room. He was butt naked, bound hand and foot with his own socks, and he was bound hand and foot with his own socks. So someone tied him up with his own socks
Somebody-
some long socks.
and had been strangled with his own shirt.
What?
Sounds like a thing that he was really into that
I
just
mean,
went a little
it sounds
too far.
like a whore went a little too far. But also, that's he was probably really excited.
A lot
he
of people
died.
are dying by falling down the elevator shafts.
Sounds like they should get that
Yeah,
inspected.
they should get those serviced. Like, is Otis like the main group that does?
So the all the ghosts are basically the little kids that the lady threw out the window, right? And
Okay, yeah, that's
one of
awful.
the famous one is the wooden leg guy
Yeah.
that had a heart
Really?
attack.
Wait. So
He's one of the famous
people
ones.
died there. Now you're talking about things that people see?
Yeah, peg leg Johnny.
So those were the history of the people that died, but the most common ones are the kids and the guy with the one
Okay,
leg.
They
So
see
that-
the kids falling out the window, or what
No,
do they see?
they see him as like shadows.
Hey, fella, want to go to the zoo?
Okay.
I saw a penguin once.
Okay, but
you
that's
want to
like-
come over this ledge with me? Peg
Well,
leg Johnny, they call him.
That's
Peg
kinda-
leg
That's what Jason
Johnny.
said.
It's
but
weird
yes.
to me. It's weird to me that like the ghosts that are there are ones that are really old, and then one that's not from all that long ago. Because you think they'd all be like really old ghosts.
Well, what are the ghosts?
What year was the peg leg ghost guy?
Like
So that's pretty old.
19.
I thought you said it was. What was he?
I mean, people don't really have peg legs anymore, right? Like, I think we've
I think that's-
transitioned into calling
that's
them
a
He's
derogatory-
just like a
I think it's a
mischievous guy
derogatory name they gave.
that says he roams the hotel turning off lights and electronics out. They're not really 100% sure on like when he might have rolled up. but
Yeah, he's just going through. Turn
one of
those
the-
god damn lights off.
He's
we
one of
got
the
a
guys
bill.
who's like most commonly like talked about though.
What? And they're sure that he only has one leg.
Well, they call him Peg Leg Johnny for a reason.
Wait, so question. If you die...
So 1948 would have been the peg leg Johnny guy.
Okay,
Still
but that's
a long
like
time ago.
that's like 60 years after the first ghosts.
There's a lot of ghosts here. It's a haunted place.
That's like
But think how many guests stay there between then and then. Only having another ghost since that time.
I
And
know,
how
but if
many
you're having
died there?
if you're having ghostly interactions, like the child ghosts are 60 years older than the peg leg ghost.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
how it
still
goes.
just like regular kids versus an adult who's a peg leg ghost.
The last thing we saw was the zoo. They had a buffalo.
I thought you were going to say a thing a lot worse than that. Carry on, Isaac.
Eh?
The
Zoos in the 1800s weren't that.
They had an
Isaac,
aboriginal.
What they have? They have any sloths, baby?
They had a
Vanislav.
guy named Sloth.
It was just a guy from Poland that they put in the zoo.
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
a little hairier than most.
I am from Poland. I am Catholic. In the zoo with you.
In the zoo. Throw
So-
your peanuts.
There's 871 rooms, but there's been a number of them sealed off.
I heard there's
Like they won't let
872.
people in there. And I'm trying to figure out which rooms those are, but I'm still looking.
I mean, well, you said they never cleaned up
So-
the dude that blew his brains out. I imagine it might be one of them rooms.
Yeah, the most active room that you can still get is 441. That's the one where the girl is that threw her kids out the window is supposed to be.
Why would you keep that room?
There's also the 12th floor has a young boy named Carol Langer. That's one that was thrown also from his room wow. Okay. They evidently
Extra splattery.
parents just threw their kids out the window in Chicago down there
This is the fib mentality.
Room 209 occasionally reported as being too horrible for use and is sealed off.
So they like literally just put a wall where the door was? Or?
Yeah, they won't let people stay there.
But,
That's what it looks like. Like
they don't-
you have to have seen that.
Right,
hotel.
but they don't let people stay there?
yeah, because you
or-
got Peg Leg
Or
Johnny. You got the Shadow Man.
Right, or do they put a wall where the door is so like the room inside is
Yeah,
been...
it's like sealed
I don't know.
up,
It
sealed up.
says the drywall is sealed over and sealed shut.
Okay, so they seal the door.
There's this room 666.
Yeah, that's not good.
So they sealed it up with everything inside, like as is. They didn't touch anything. They just sealed it up.
So like you could just punch through the drywall and like get to the door.
And you would have
Where's a Kyle and some
there'd be a room
monster?
in there from fucking 1890. Would be exactly how it was in 1890. Is still there right
That'd
now.
be cool to see.
That's actually really cool.
It's almost like a time
Also
capsule.
scary.
Time capsule in there. Mm.
So, do you guys know what hobo means?
Is it hobo looking for work?
Close.
I just
Hobo originated after World War One when all the soldiers
people, right?
all the soldiers came home for World War One and the economy had crashed. So they were trying to find jobs. So most of them were illiterate. So they went to the rail system and they rode around until they could find places.
Yeah.
So it hobos stood for
A
homeward bound.
migratory worker or homeless worker who travels to find work.
Right.
Yeah,
Homeward
like I
bound.
said.
Homeward bound soldiers
Okay.
Okay.
is what it stood for.
Because, like, I'm sure you remember this story, but our dad, when he was a kid, our great grandma, who would have been alive during that era, always warned them they couldn't play outside because she was worried that tramps, aka hobos, would come by and snatch
No,
them.
there's a difference between a tramp and a hobo.
Yes, there is a difference between a tramp and a hobo.
What's the difference? Their work ethic?
Basically.
Wait,
No,
I think
no,
we're
no,
getting,
no.
I
A
think
tra-
we're
a-
getting a call.
No.
No.
A tramp is a wandering vagrant who avoids work, where a hobo is looking for work. So tramps,
It wasn't until recently the hobos got a bad name, but originally hobo was a
yeah,
good
they're
thing.
just because they would come to
They
town.
wanted to be a productive part of society.
I mean, they
back
would come
then.
to town and paint your fence or
Why?
do whatever.
Because that's what the guys from what's the one where
Of mice and men.
of Mice and Men were. They were hobos.
Okay, enough about hobos. I think that's about it. It's a guy at a hotel.
I mean, that's basically it. Like, if you go there to this day,
Those is haunted.
it's haunted as balls. Like, every room, basically. The The most one, you're going to see Peg Leg Johnny, which is the one with the wooden leg.
I'd peg his
obviously.
leg.
You're going to see the Shadow Man.
I'd shadow his man.
That's the guy that I told you committed suicide. And you're going to see probably the kids that the woman threw out the window. But there's also the ballroom's haunted. Okay. The golden room's haunted. Don't know what that is.
Are they just like
The Florentine room is haunted. Don't know what that is.
Florentine room.
What room isn't haunted?
Basically, it's all
105?
haunted. So yeah. Go to the Congress Plaza Hotel. It's actually a really pretty hotel, and it's in a very good spot. And the rooms are actually reasonable. Like, let me look.
So, like, if we were to go there in, like, say, June, what would it look like?
I'm gonna look right now, baby.
Would they have June bugs?
What dates you want to go, baby? Holy, like right now, it's $116 a night. In June, it's anywhere from 160 to 420.
That's not bad.
I feel like that ain't terrible.
That's really cheap for Chicago. Are you kidding me? In the heart of Chicago. It's not even like it's in a shitty spot. Look where it's at. It's right next to the museums, everything. Jason, look at my map.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Oh, Josh, look at my
I have
map.
the map up too. It's like right just a little bit south of like the Institute or Art Institute of Chicago and everything. Like you're just like right in the middle of everything down there.
Yeah. You want to have a hug then, or?
Isn't that like kind of close to where we had the start of Route 66 and everything?
It is close to that. But we're not going to talk about that. Isaac, what are you thinking about this place? You've researched it quite a bit. What do you think?
I think it's definitely haunted, and I don't want to go there. Just kidding. We're going there. We're going to get a room, all four of us together. We're all going to stay in one king bed. I call inside.
Okay. Jason, what do you think of this place?
I feel like it's like a really cool hotel with a ton of tragic history, I guess is probably the best way to put it. I can definitely see why a lot of spirits might want to be or like tie themselves to it, especially if they're like going through a lot of that stuff. Like, I don't know, in the moment, like you're dealing with a lot of emotional baggage and whatever. And then
Baggage.
I don't know, a good way to say like you're just like feeling rough and want to kill yourself kind of thing, you know?
Every day, Jason.
That's how we all feel.
Josh. Oh, sorry, Jason.
No, I was going to say, like, I can definitely see why it'd be haunted, and it'd be a pretty cool place to check out from the sounds of it, like a very historic place in the middle of downtown Chicago.
Josh, what do you think?
This is a terrible place. Never bring your children there. You're going to throw them out the window. Also, it's in Chicago, and fuck them.
Alrighty. It's Tyler. I don't know what to think about this place, but I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of places with weird energy. Is it an old place? Who knows? But that's what we think. What do you think? This is, what you think? We're drinking Pecatonica. We're drinking Miller High Life. We are drinking Grillo's PBR beer. We are drinking St. Bernard's. We're drinking gin. We had a lot of horseradish. That was terrible. This is,
I cried a little bit.
What you think?